Okay, a couple updates so far. I started with The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, page 118. So I made good progress. I'm already like really loving it, and I knew that I would because I've heard such great things about it. Super fast paced. I feel like I've read like so much in such a short period of time, which is exactly what you need for a 24-hour readathon. So I'm really excited I chose to pick up this one finally. I feel like this book has been talked about everywhere on BookTube and BookTok and every single platform. The short version is that it's a young adult mystery riddle-based story about this girl who inherits billions of dollars from this random grandfather, but now she's like come into so much money she has no idea what to do with it all. She has to live in this mansion now. Anyway, she's trying to figure out why she was put in this old man's will. And then there's the 4 grandsons that she's meeting, which is kind of fun. So a lot of little character placements that I wasn't expecting, but I'm really enjoying. And then the second update is that I started The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Now this is a really old thriller that also a lot of people have already read and I haven't gotten to yet. So it's one of the main reasons I wanted to pick it up, to just kind of bust through it in one day. The update is that I don't like this book and I don't know why I still own it. If you were to look up the definition of an average thriller, this would be there. I already heard so many average reviews for this book. That was my expectation with going into it, which is like the worst expectation to have, because then that's exactly what it's gonna be, is so average. I barely got like 60 pages in and I was like, yeah, I don't know why I'm even trying. Like, I know that this was how I was gonna feel about it. Long story short, I'm DNFing it because I just knew that it was not gonna be a good time. I knew that I wasn't gonna like it, so like I don't even know why I still even thought to pick it up. You know what I mean? I think I got this one from a free library, so I didn't even like buy it, and I was like, oh, that's like a really well-known thriller. It's popular based on the fact that I've seen it everywhere, but no one really says that many good things about it. So when I picked it up out of the little free library, I was like, oh, I'll just give it a shot. But that was like a year and a half ago now or whatever, and somehow it still made its way with me in my move, and I don't know why I didn't just like get rid of it, because I knew I probably was never really gonna want to read it. So anyway, I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna pick something else maybe, but I do have to finish The Inheritance Games, and then I have my other book that I picked, so we'll get into that and then probably pick another book later to replace this one. We are here sitting in the Target parking lot because I'm about to go in and grab some things. But first, couple updates. I'm on my second Starbucks of the day, and it's looking quite questionable now, but before it was really pretty and cute. That definitely looks questionable. Normally I just love the pink drinks, but I saw that you can get it with the vanilla sweet cream cold foam on top. So I added that and also added strawberry puree. So I customized it a little bit and it's quite delicious. Honestly, kind of tastes the same. So I don't know if it's worth the $2.25 more. But like it tastes a little bit more like strawberries and cream, which is yummy. And then I also grabbed lunch. I got myself some El Pollo Loco, and my El Pollo Loco order is always the same, and that is the BRC burritos. Not like exactly the same every time, because you know it could be like 1 burrito or 2 burritos like today. And then also sometimes I like to spice it up and add a side of mashed potatoes, because I just love to dip the burritos in the potatoes, and it's literally the greatest thing ever. So I'm gonna eat that right now. And then as far as a book update, I'm definitely slowing down with my pace on The Inheritance Games. It is just past 3 o'clock now, and I need to finish this. I went to the pool just now too, you saw that. I tried to read a little bit there, but honestly it was kind of hard to concentrate because there was quite a lot of people, so I kept like rereading the same sentence over and over and over and over again. 24 hours goes by so fast. Pool let this happen, you know? The pool felt really nice though, but I was like I was sweating. Yeah, these 24 hours are gonna fly by. I only have till 10 p.m. tonight. My goal was to at least finish the 3 books that I had planned. So the other one besides Women in Cabin 10 or whatever, because I'm DNFing that one, I also wanted to read these Hollow Vows. So I need to get into this one. I might pop on the audiobook while I start shopping in Target just so I can start this one. The 3rd book that I'm going to replace Women in Cabin 10 with is something completely different, Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. Kind of randomly picked this one off my shelf. I also have the audiobook for this, so I might get to this if I have enough time, but time is a ticking and I don't have much time left, so we're gonna try our best, but at the very least we're having fun, right? Anyway, I'm gonna eat this and then I'm gonna go into Target. 24-hour challenges are really hard, especially when you try to film them. You might have an expectation for yourself to finish like 5 whole books for it to be considered a success. To be honest, I have felt that way, and that's not healthy. So it's all about like celebrating the small wins and just recognizing the hard work that you put in no matter what. So that's a little pep talk for me, just like a good reminder, and for anybody else who also struggles with that. So all that to say, I didn't finish a book in this 24 hours, but I did read a total of 560 pages, and 60 of those pages were from my DNF, so it was kind of a throwaway 60 pages. I'd say that's still a really big accomplishment for me since I have really been slacking with my reading this year. So 500 pages in a 24-hour period is pretty good. I've seen a lot of people do the timer method now with their 24-hour readathons. I definitely want to try that next time. I feel like I keep telling myself that I'm gonna do it like that, but then I always forget. One whole day is definitely not long enough. So I think it would be an interesting challenge to see how much I could read with doing the timer method. But anyway, so yeah, since I didn't finish a book during that 24-hour period, I still did continue with those books so that I could come back and review them for you. So I did end up finishing them, just not in that 24 hours. First, I did finish the Inheritance Games, and I gave this 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. There were parts where it kind of felt like it was dragging, and like there were parts in the story where it just felt really slow and I wasn't like super interested in parts of it. But for the most part, like the overall story I'm really invested in. So as you saw, I did pick up the 2nd book in the series at Target the other day, so I'm gonna continue with this. But yeah, so this is a 4-star for me. I love the premise, I love the riddles, I love the mystery of it all, the characters are likable, all that good stuff. So that's the first book. And then the 2nd book I did finish is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. Me and fantasy sometimes don't really mesh. We don't really get along sometimes, but I really want to. Like, I really want to enjoy a good fantasy. I will say that this one was not bad, and I would recommend it if you're into young adult fantasy. Definitely nothing like too crazy with the world building and everything. I just don't feel like I'm the right person for fantasy. I'm just still so very new to fantasy, and I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to fantasies, but I still want to like give them a shot, and I still want to try and pick them up and just see, you know, which ones will like blow me away, just to kind of like narrow down my taste in fantasy. Overall, I did enjoy this, but there were times where I was just a little bit taken out of the story because I don't really know why. I just like wasn't interested in it, but then there were parts that I was like really into. So I don't know if it was like the writing or the characters, because it's a fantasy romance, right? And I will admit that I like kind of zoned out for a good chunk of this book, like in the beginning. Once I got to like the middle part, I was like, okay, this is like gonna pick up. I'm really gonna pay attention now, and like I did, but I still just don't know how I feel about it. I don't know, guys. I really don't. I liked it, but it just, maybe it wasn't the right time to read a fantasy. I rated it 3.75 stars, and I also purchased the sequel, also in the Fairy Loot edition, because I wanted them to match. So I found someone selling it on Pango Books, so I bought the sequel in the Fairy Loot edition as well, so I can I can continue with this story too, and hopefully pay a little bit more attention during the second book. And then also I did pick up and finish Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This was like totally not what I thought it was gonna be, really. It's so random, and I suggest, like, if you don't know what this is about, like, definitely take a good look at the synopsis and like read, make sure you like know what you're getting into with this book, because it's not really a romance. Like, it is, but it's not the main point of the book. Lily is nothing if not resourceful, and she now uses Duke's coveted hand-drawn maps to guide tourists on treasure hunts through the gorgeous Red Rock canyons of Utah. It pays the bills, but doesn't leave enough to fulfill her dream of buying back the beloved ranch her father sold years ago. And definitely not enough to deal with the sight of the man she once loved walking back into her life with a motley crew of friends ready to hit the trails. Ready to leave the past behind him, Leo suddenly realizes he wants nothing more than to reconnect with his first and only love. Unfortunately, Lily Wilder is all business, drawing a clear line in the sand. It's never going to happen. But when the trip goes both horribly and hilariously wrong, the group wonders if maybe the legend of the hidden treasure wasn't a gimmick after all. It's really less about the romance as it is more about the treasure hunt and like all these other characters that are introduced right off the bat. It's definitely like very slow burn, like a slow beginning, and lots of characters, like unlikable characters, are thrown at you like right away, and I was like, hold on a second. It felt like a deterrent almost, like reading about these not so great characters. I was like, why should I continue this book? You're not making me really want to. So overall, I gave this 3 stars because there were parts of it that were kind of fun. It was just like not at all what I expected. I wouldn't recommend it to you as a romance because it's definitely not so much a romance. Like, there's a romantic aspect between Lily and Leo, but not really. It's more about this treasure hunt and everything. So it did have plenty of twists and turns that kind of made it fun. So anyway, 3 stars for that. So thank you guys so much for clicking and watching this video. You all are the best. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.